Hey guys, Taylor here, your Backstage Beautician, and today we're going to be doing some hairstyles from Guys and Dolls. The musical premiered in 1950, but it has a lot of earlier elements in it. The musical appears to be set just after World War II, judging by a lot of the costume and set choices typically made with the piece. But a lot of humor and modern references for the 1950s were set in the musical too. So while it's typically performed in the time period after World War II, we see a lot of different time periods thrown in there. The 30s for the source material and what was contemporary humor at the time. Today for my hairstyle, I'm going to choose to use a curling iron. I have a 1-inch Conair curling iron. It's nice and cheap. So Guys and Dolls is about New York's most famous crap game organizer, Nathan Detroit, hoping for a big
payday, challenges notorious gambler Sky Masterson to a bet that he is sure he'll win. Take a mission girl, Sarah Brown, to dinner in Havana, Cuba. Sky accepts and pursues the known prude, seemingly hopelessly, while Nathan deals with his own situation, his 14-year fiancé.
So let's jump into the hairstyle. Okay, so to start out this hairstyle, we're going to split our hair into sections. First thing we're going to do is separate the hair in front of the ear by putting your finger here at the temple and running it down, and then pulling it apart. The hair that's behind the ear, we're just going to clip out of the way. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, so place your finger at the roots right up from your ear, and then run it down against the scalp so you're separating the hair in front of the ears and behind. I'm never very good at thinking about sections in terms of inches on your head. I find that so bizarre when people do that because you have a different amount of hair follicles per square inch on your head than other people do. So what I like to think about it is how big the section is. Have you ever seen those pasta boxes on the back, like spaghetti boxes, where they show a serving size by how big a clump of pasta is? That's how I like to think of my hair. You can see from my hand, this is not a very big section. We want this to feel like less than half a serving of spaghetti pasta, right? It's pretty small section. Then we're going to take our barrel, and with the clip up on top of the hair, we're going to curl this towards our face. Okay, so then here's the tricky part. We're going to take the hair off the barrel. Then we're going to set it. So quick before it cools, we're going to wrap it up again around our fingers. So we're wrapping it up back into a curl as if it was still on the barrel. And then these pieces we're going to pin like a pin curl. So then we have this hair. So if I hold this in my hand, this is still a pretty small serving, less than one person serving size of a box of pasta. With pieces like this that are close to your ear, you want to be careful you don't burn your ear. A lot of times what I do is take my hand and put it over my ear underneath the hair. This is because I'm going to be a lot more aware of where my hand is in space than I am of where my ear is in space. My ear is also much more sensitive skin, so if it burns, it's gonna hurt a heck of a lot more than if I burn my hand. Then we're going to take it off the barrel. Alright, so that's one side done. Moving on to the other. So since we slipped to the other side of the head, you have to think about which way the clip should go. Clip is going to go outwards this way so that we can curl the hair around this way. I'll show you, hold on. And pin it against your head. Once you have those pinned on your head, I hope your arms aren't tired because we're moving on to the back. So take your hair down, and now we're going to take a different style of curling. We're going to curl all the hair underneath. So before we were curling the hair inwards towards our face, now we're going to take the barrel and curl the hair underneath. Does that make sense? Underneath. So when we pin these curls up, we're not going to want to pin them flat against our head. I'm going to coil them up like so and pin it in place as if it was still on a hot roller on your head. So see how it still has the space in the curl? Like so. And last one done. Okay, now my arms are officially tired, but that's okay because we get a little break. So what we're gonna do now is take our hairspray and give our hair a light dusting. Emphasis on the light. Do not coat your hair with hairspray at this step because the only part that you're coating is this one tiny section of hair that's at the top of each roll. Then you just have one crusty section of hair. Who wants one crusty section? Give it a light spray. What? That's a light spray. Alright, now we're going to let our hair set until it's completely cool. I say at least 20 minutes, maybe while you go and do your makeup for the show, but preferably upwards to 40 minutes of an hour. Alright, I'll be back in a little bit. And we're back! Now comes the fun part, taking these curls out. Make sure to check the same way I checked before, just stick a finger in there. Does it feel warm in there? At all warmer than it should. At all warmer than like normal hair temperature. If it does, you gotta wait a little longer. Now, the real way to make this look like the time period is how you style these. We don't want to just leave like big sausage ringlets hanging down from our head. So you're going to take your hairbrush and brush them out. If you have hair that falls out of curl really easily, you may want to give a little bit of hairspray before or just brush the bottom. I'm just brushing the really big ringlets at the bottom. I'm not brushing from the top down. That's going to pull the hair down. It's going to pull the curl down. It's going to pull the curl out of your hair. Just take the ends of your hair and just very lightly give them a little brush. Alright, and once you got them brushed out, it's back to the fun part. Now this is my favorite way of hairspraying. Don't just come at it. I mean, you could, that works. But I like to lift and spray. That way you're getting all of the hair, even underneath layers, not just what's sitting on the top. So there we have some bouncy 1940s/50s style curls that you can wear for any part in the show. Alright, now I'm going to teach you a sort of more period appropriate way you can pin it back. This can be if you're playing Sarah, Adelaide, or just in the ensemble and you want to have a way to pin your hair out of your face. But this look is a little flat, lies flat against your head, and is convenient if you're playing a part where you're in the mission and have to wear a bonnet or a hat. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a chunk of your bangs, or hair that frames the front of your face, and separate it out from the rest of the hair. I'm going to clip this out of the way so it doesn't get in my way. So you're going to take this section of hair and split it into 3 more sections. We're going to take the hair that's furthest back. We're going to put 2 fingers underneath. See my bouncy curl? Going to let the curl do the work. We're just going to wrap it around our fingers, and it should automatically spring back into that shape that we set it in. Just by putting your fingers underneath and wrapping it. It'll decide how big the curl is, what it looks like. So then we have our curl. And now we're going to pin it flat against our head. Because this is the section that's furthest back, this is going to be the curl that's furthest back. So the remaining hair will split into 2 sections. I'm going to take the hair closest to the bottom. And we're going to do the same thing. Put 2 fingers underneath the hair and wrap it around the fingers. If your hair doesn't want to spring into this shape, you can always re-curl it. Alright, so now we're going to place this little curl just underneath the first one and bobby pin it in place. Alright, now we're going to take our last curl here. Once you have your pin curls, you can take out the rest of your hair. Protect the makeup. And there we are. There's a nice little way to pin back your 1940s, 50s curls so that you can dance and it doesn't get in your face. Alright guys, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you get a chance to try out this hairstyle, please tag me on Instagram or leave the hashtag Backstage Beautician and I would love to see it. So until next time, thank you so much for watching and break a leg on your production of Guys and Dolls. Bye guys!